Hello and welcome to NHL 20, and thanks for tuning in. Today we are going to be discussing tips on the hip check. We're going to start off with what not to do, and then we're going to explain the controller mechanisms for how you get it to work. So let's go ahead and start off with what you do not do. First off, this move is not going to work if you are standing still. Here we're standing still, we're pushing the appropriate buttons, and he's just doing a crouch block. So it's not going to work if you're standing still. One thing you need to know about attempting the hip check is that if you are skating backwards, like we are right here, we'd like to attempt it, but you can't do it when you're skating backwards. All it's going to do is crouch block. As you can see, we're skating backwards right here. We push the buttons. All it does is crouch. You have to be skating forward.
All right, so how exactly do we do it? Well, we got our controller ready to point out how you do it. First thing you're going to want to do while you're skating, of course, with this button right here, is you're going to want to push in R3. How do you push in R3? That's this button right here. You're going to push it in like a button. So you take the right analog stick and push it in. See, we're pushing it right there. So push in R3, and then while you're doing that, you're going to push in L1. So the sequence goes like this. You're skating, push in R3, and then push L1. So probably if you're holding the controller, it's going to look something like this. We're skating this direction. We push in R3 and then push R1. But you got to push R3 first and then push L1. And you got to be skating, of course, like I said earlier. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Now, what if instead of having a PS4, you happen to have an Xbox One? How do you do it that way? Well, it's pretty much the same thing. What we're going to do is we're going to be skate, with the left analog stick, and then push in R3 to activate, and then push L1. So it's going to be, we're skating to where we're going, and then push in R3 as a button, and then push L1. And of course, you got to do it in sequence. So R3 first, and then L1.
Now, while it is true that you do not need speed to deliver a hip check, it is much less likely to be a highlight reel if you don't have it. From my experience, this is a risky attempt in open ice. Doesn't mean it doesn't work, it just means it's risky to try to attempt. One good area to attempt the hip check is near the boards, because even if you miss, you're less likely to get burnt with an odd man rush. And one other good thing about hip checking by the boards is even if you don't get a highlight reel, sometimes you still get possession of the puck. And that is going to wrap this up. If you are looking for more tips on NHL 20, I'm going to put a link in the description below to a playlist called NHL 20, I believe, or NHL 20 Tips. And I'm also going to put a link in the comment section below, just in case you missed that as well. Thanks again for watching, and good luck.